It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity, and it's another new ground break in Encinitas. So, this is a fun one, not that they all aren't, but here's our challenges on this one. We have a property line right here. So this little rectangle belongs to the neighbors. And our client talked to the neighbors and said, may we please just have our designer go to the driveway? Because this is such a dumb little spot, right? And they're all, sure. So we're going to meet with the neighbor tomorrow, and obviously we'll be leaving the Italian cypress. We'll leave whatever they want. I'm hoping that they'll be down to let me maybe clean up this stuff around it. If they want to keep the boxwood, that's fine, you know, for balance. We'll want to cap their spray heads and run drip to their existing landscape here. And then we will just complete our design seamlessly. So thank you, neighbor, for being such a team player. This little gem magnolia tree, I voted no on it, but I was overruled. The client wanted to keep it. There was the one on the other side too that they did allow us to get rid of, so I feel like, you know, we negotiated. There's going to be leaf drop, but it's not as offensive as some trees. I am going to be mindful though with our mounding over here. I don't want to suffocate the roots of this tree. So I am a little hesitant, and I'm feeling very cautious about any disruptions to the soil level in this area so as to not offend our little gem. We had grass in here, and we had some gardeners come and yank it all out about 2 weeks ago. Miguel is over here right now digging up pop-ups. We don't need them because we have eliminated the lawn. So these get dug out and they get capped. So that's what's happening. All of this that you see here is the drip that was supporting the lawn. This was all running underneath the sod. So that came up. You can see we also had a lot of that wood mulch, that painted crap. Oh, this is the worst. This is my least, or I should say most hated wood bark of all time. They paint it brown. Oh God. Anywho, that's all gonna get raked up and probably thrown out front and buried with our top dressing, because eventually it will decompose. So we don't necessarily need to throw it away, but I'm gonna get rid of that. You can probably tell already that it's really hot right here too. So and we're right next to the driveway. So what I plant here, I'm gonna have to be very mindful about. We've got great drainage out here. That's a non-issue. You can see the grass is already making a comeback. So we're gonna get the shovel, and we are gonna get after that the best we possibly can. I've already warned the client, put them on blast, that they may have to come out here and do some manual extraction throughout this warm season in the event that we are unable to get all of it. Up here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planters that we are going to take apart and start over with. And here again, you can tell by the condition of the plants that this is hot, real hot. And I want to be mindful of that and make sure that I'm planting something appropriate that not only tolerate baking heat during the day, but will thrive. Then I love that the client just had their house painted, so it's perfect. I love that. I'm gonna ask the guys to be really careful not to put their dirty hands against the newly painted wall.
Call it, it's our caveman.
Yeah, no caveman drawings. on the walls. Thank you. And then we move into the main section of the yard. We've already got a bit of a downslope, which is great. There's also a lot of root still out here that I'm going to want to investigate. We're going to take up as much of that as we can. As I said, there was a magnolia tree here. So we're going to go find that and make sure. Yeah, you can see here. It looks like the gardener, Freddie, did a good job of cutting on each side of these big roots, which is really, really important to sever them. And it looks like he did, but we'll come in here with the Sawzall too and just investigate this area a little more thoroughly. The last thing I want is a resurgence of little gems. Here's a challenge. Okay, so this is dedicated open space over here. We've got a giant sycamore tree, a few sycamore trees that are going to cast shade and detritus on our installation. So I need to be mindful about, again, what I plant here. Probably don't want to do anything too, it's going to do this and collect leaves down at its joints.
Are you planting back here?
Yes, and then this area stays fairly shaded, but here's the concern that the client has back here is they want something to really discourage undesirables investigating their backyard, jumping their fence. They were very concerned about that. They're very close to the freeway. So, but it's shady, so that kind of eliminates cactus a bit. You know, I'm still working this one out. But this microclimate is a very different story than what's out front, and I need this installation to be seamless. This is a inverted L-shaped yard. So, like I've told you guys many times, sometimes the smaller installations are the toughest. Not sometimes, always, because we have to be so mindful of how the plants are going to grow. We don't want to put anything in that's going to get too big too fast. We, every single square inch is scrutinized because it is a smaller footprint. There's zero room for any kind of error. We also have, rather than a conventional sidewalk, we have decomposed granite down here. So, being really, really mindful also of that. We have this wood edge that we need to be sensitive. This is all city, so I don't want to do anything to disrupt this wood border. I don't want to, don't want all of our top dressing over here into the DG pathway. So yeah, there's about 7,500 things to consider. We're also going to be, in addition to reconfiguring the irrigation, Greg's going to be adding lights out here, low voltage lighting. So it's not going to be very exciting the rest of the day. We're just going to continue with our digging out and cutting and capping, working on excavating and cutting roots. We did get a delivery from KRC earlier this morning. We have a total of 5 yards of amended topsoil, as well as 4 ton of 2-foot minus Baja Cresta boulders. So this is where we're going to start. We may get into the soil around noontime. I did get a small delivery from Waterwise Botanicals and an incredibly gorgeous piece of ghost wood. My main plants this time are coming from Sun Valley. So I've got some big, beautiful box specimens. And my idea here initially going in is to create a specimen garden out front with possibly a couple splashes of tapestry, blowing out the pots with tons of color. But keeping this, here's that word again, somewhat restrained. Dare I say it? Oh my gosh, it's out there now. You guys have to hold me accountable when we do our grand reveal in just 4 days. Let's see if I got that one. Got an A in restraint. There's no A in yes, there is an A in restraint. I digress. Okay, All right, so we got our work cut out for us. Be sure and stay tuned on this one. I'm sure many of you can relate to the footprint in this yard, and I hope that this video gives you lots of ideas. Be sure and subscribe. We're almost at 110,000 subscribers. I'd love to see that. And share this video with all your garden-loving friends, and comment if you've got compelling things to say. Love you guys. Bye.